The shiur is in Lilu Nishmas V'Chalea Bas V'Chaim Tzvi, and we're going to continue in Malas HaTorah. So last time, quoting from the brother of the Vilna Gaon whose text we're using, we drew an analogy. We said that there are three things that make Torah comparable to Geshem, to rain. We said that rain has three effects. One is it gets the earth prepared to receive the seed. The next is it, so to speak, gives birth to that which grows. And the final one is that it makes it grow higher and taller and bigger. So last time we spoke about the actual effect of Torah upon the person even before their conception. We spoke about the zivug, and we're continuing from there. Okay, so B'tchila lomdim imo Torah shebichtav bichlal. So he says to make this child who was conceived in the ways that we spoke about last time progress, to leave the Yetzer and the wildness that's inherent within him, you have to begin by teaching him Torah shebichtav. V'ukmo hagarin shel pri shebo kol ilan im anafim v'sharbitim v'peirot v'alim k'mo shekatavnu lemala. Because the child is like a seed, and the seed has everything in it. So within the seed there's the trunk, and there's the bark, and there's everything. But it needs to come forward. Hakol b'koach, everything is in potential. V'nishrach beluach libo liyot mitrakech al yedei Torah. So all of the higher potentials a human being could have are already there in the child's heart. So one of the reasons that people are sometimes resistant to teaching their children Torah is you look at a young child, and there doesn't seem to be on the outside any real difference between a little Jewish baby and a little non-Jewish baby. And they're a little older, let's say 4. Still, 2 4-year-olds are more like each other than they are like anyone else. So what he's saying, it's true, all of the potential at that age is hidden, but it's there. So that's why you have to do something to bring it forth. To give birth to those potentials. The same way when the plant comes out from the opening in the earth. When it was still in the earth, it was analogous to human pregnancy. The child is in his mother's stomach. That's how it is when you give birth. So similarly, you would go on to the next step, which is teaching Torah Shebal Peh, when the child is more developed, when the child's potentials are beginning to come forth. Because the function of Torah Shebal Peh is to take the generalities, which are like the potentials that are in Torah Shebichtav, and then flesh them out and give them detail and give them everything that needs to be real. Va'az nishlamim midotav shelo liot na'ar mishulach lasot ma shelibo chafetz. And he says, and then through the Torah, through learning this, the principles of life and their details, the child learns not to do everything his heart desires. So I want to explore this idea with greater depth. So what that means is that a child who's learning basic principles. So let's go back to Gan, or even pre-Gan. We have children learning Bereshis. They're not learning Ramban. What are they learning? Ma bara Hashem b'yom harishon. What did Hashem make on day 1? Who's Hashem? What's a day? What's the first? Okay, they draw their picture, the classical Gan picture. Okay, light and dark, you have a big square. The teacher has made a line down the middle. Some of it's light, some of it's dark. Yom Rishon. So do you know all about like how Hashem made the first day? What's his answer? Yes. Okay. So the things that Ramban didn't know, the child thinks he knows. And this goes on, like till you get to Adam and Chava, evil, choice, he knows it all. Okay. So people sometimes think this is unnecessary, since the child's superficiality reduces the text to being a skeleton text. And because children don't relate to these things anyway, they would much rather hear about the cat in the hat. They tend to go very soft on learning and a little stronger on cat in the hat, which children do like better. I want to make that very clear. What's the problem? The problem is the cat in the hat is mashali bo chafetz. It's what his heart wants. But we aren't meant to pursue the will of our hearts. We're meant to have the mind dictate the will of the heart. And that's lost at this point, because a young child who's learning is learning the principles of reality. There's somebody out there called Hashem, whatever that is. And that thing called Hashem is what made everything.